And with that said, let me introduce my next guest. His name is Kenny Mufasa. Karibu sana to the
Thank you
show.
very much. I appreciate it.
And he's a graphic designer and animator, producer, but also a champion of
Yes.
savings
Yes.
and financial wellness.
Yes.
Karibu sana, it's good to have you
Thank
here.
you very much.
Now, he's going to be talking to us about what is known as the 52-week saving plan, and he's had quite some experience with this in his own personal life, using it day to day. And you seem to credit this 52-week plan with where you are at today.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I imagine then is pretty financially stable.
It's doing great.
Hopefully you're married, so that all the girls are not like on your case after this.
We'll talk about that a bit later.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me, how did you become a champion of savings?
So basically, I started around 2016, and I started the challenge, but did not finish.
Okay.
So I failed. I started by failing, and by the time
All great
the
stories start
52
with a
weeks,
failure.
yes, by the time the 52 weeks were over, I was devastated, man. I was seeing
no.
my friends counting the cash, and I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, no, I have to do this again. So in 2017, I actually completed the challenge, and by the end of the challenge, I had 137,800 shillings.
Look at you.
Which was amazing. It was really, really powerful.
Had
It's a
you
good
ever
thing.
saved that amount of money before?
Yes, I had, but so apart from the 52-week saving challenge, I have saved continuously for 7 years every month without fail.
Okay.
So that kind of also it was a consistent thing I was doing.
Yeah.
But this
But
challenge,
100 and something
Yes.
K, that's good money.
yes. So this challenge actually, what it teaches you is resilience and consistency. So apart from just saving, you become a more consistent person in terms of accountability and in terms of also delivery, because every single week you have to literally put some cash in.
Okay.
Yes.
Who started this challenge? Is it a Kenyan thing? Or
No, it's not a Kenyan. It's just a worldwide thing. Apparently, it's been going on for centuries. It's just that Kenyans picked it up just the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's
So
doing
walk
so
me
well.
through the mechanics of how this
So
challenge
basically,
works.
you deposit in increments of 100 shillings every single week. So for example, the first week of January, you deposit 100 shillings. Second week, you deposit 200 shillings. And by the time it's week 52, you deposit 5,200 shillings.
Per week?
No, just the last week.
Oh, just
the last week
oh,
yes,
of course,
yes.
sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
the last week.
The last week, yeah.
Wow. So in December, when people are blowing cash,
Yes.
You're
so
saving.
not even December. In January, when people are complaining about in January,
Yeah.
you already sorted out.
but
maybe
in
safe.
in December, you had to put aside 5,200.
Yes, 5,200 shillings in
when
the last
people are
week.
eating and
Yes.
enjoying the pesa. But in January, you get this nice
You get
harvest.
this, yes. And then again, there's different ways of doing it. I've seen someone who actually wrote the 52 weeks on pieces of paper, and whatever piece of paper they picked, they jack money for that specific week. Some people
Oh.
also do it in reverse, where they start with 5,200 and go down, and by the time it's the last week of December, they chuck only 100 shillings.
Interesting. Also, you start with 52.
Yes, you can
5,200
yes.
now.
Or you can do the random one, which is also exciting.
That's interesting. So you write like 100, 200, like you just write 52 different pieces of paper.
Yes, yeah.
Put them in a bowl.
Yes.
And then randomly
every week you
pick,
just go
hey,
pick a piece of
Ninoma.
paper.
Weh.
It's really
And then
tough,
that's
yeah.
the week that all your friends are going to coast.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to save 5,200
Yeah,
more.
and those are the things that people also need to value and understand. The power of delayed gratification is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like where you save now so that you spend it later in larger amounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, the saving you do this month is the spending you will do the next month.
Yeah.
So what you do is you just have to do a lot of sacrifices. You can't do impulse buying.
Yeah.
You can't, you just have to plan everything. If you're going to buy a shoe, it has to be on your budget.
So not just because you've seen it on sale.
Yes, no, yeah,
Because
it has
that's
to
how
be on
we
your budget.
trick ourselves
exactly,
too.
yeah.
We're like, hey, but the shoe is on sale, so technically it's a good deal. But someone else was like, no, but you didn't budget for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has to be on your budget. And people ask me all the time, I have stuff to do with the money. How do I do this? So first thing you need to do before you even start the challenge, you need to iron out the rest of the bits. Like for example, the budget is really important. You have to cut down on expenditure, wasteful expenditure. You have to cut that out. Like for example, if you have internet connections for your phone and for your house, you have to pick one that is gonna maybe work for both. If you probably eat out, you need to maybe schedule that and do that maybe twice a month or something, so that you have enough money
Yeah.
to save. Because saving has nothing to do with the money. It's all about the habit. If you build the habit, then even whatever amounts you have, you'll always save.
So how did you recover from the first year you tried it? You said you failed.
Yes.
How did you recover then? The second year you tried it, you were successful all the way
So
through.
the the year that I failed, I was actually employed. But the year that I succeeded, I wasn't employed.
Wow. So you
And
had
so
added
you,
pressure.
so you can yeah, I had added pressure for the year that I wasn't employed. But
Hold on, but
yes.
you were successful with this savings challenge in the year that you were not employed.
Yes, yes.
How
So-
were you doing that
so-
when you're not employed?
So I was self-employed, I'd say. So any business I used to do and get money, I'd save 10% of that. And during the course of this period, there are months where I had more cash than others. So for example, if I was supposed to save 4,200 this month and I couldn't, and next month I make more money, I'd add that.
Okay.
So it's more of a discipline thing and less of the money thing. And
Yeah.
also, if you can't do the 100 shilling increments, you can do 50 shillings.
Right. You
I've-
can
I've
do
s-
something.
Yeah, I've seen people who do 25 shillings and at the end of the year they have 36,000.
Yeah.
Which is enough to buy. If you sell fish, you can buy a fridge.
Yeah.
If you're a student, you can buy a laptop. You can literally
That's
do
amazing.
yes, you can do a
In
lot of
year.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If
I
you're a
really
makeup
like
artist, you
that.
can buy a makeup kit. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's very encouraging because a lot of the times we look at ourselves and say, oh, I don't have this type of job or I don't earn this much money. But as you're saying, even with 25 bob
Yeah.
a week, by the end of the year, you could literally get yourself a laptop.
Absolutely.
And even just the fact that you were able to keep going despite not being formally employed should be a challenge to so many people out there, that it's not just about at the end of the day, you're right, it's not about the money, it's not about the amount of
It's
money.
about the habit, yeah.
Because there's plenty of people who earn good money but they don't have the discipline for it.
true.
And so they have no savings, an emergency hits them and they don't know where their money went. What was the hardest part of doing the challenge then for you?
The hardest part is actually the last weeks where, for example, the last week you're supposed to chuck 5,200.
Yeah.
The previous one is 5,100.
Yikes.
The other one is 50
5,000.
and 49. So in 1 week, you sort of dished out about 20-something thousand. So that's kind
Wow.
of like the hardest bit,
Yeah.
but also just the discipline bit.
Yeah.
Because what you're supposed to do is actually schedule a specific time to deposit the money. If
Okay.
you do it that way, I found out it becomes easier. If
Yeah.
you just do it randomly during
Like
the
you're
week, you might
you've
forget.
wired
Yes.
your system to
Best
save.
time to do it is Sunday morning before church. Sunday morning, deposit your cash,
Yeah.
then do whatever.
And were you
really
doing
do.
it like in a physical bank in the
So,
house?
so
Like
the
you
first round I
created a
did,
physical
the first one I
bank?
did a physical one. I didn't finish weird enough, I didn't finish the 52 weeks, but I had the money. I think I did half. I think I had about 60-something thousand.
Okay.
Yes, and which was still a substantial amount.
Yeah.
And I actually just, because I was doing it for fun, I was just throwing the cash into a piggy bank.
Okay.
Yeah. But
And
for
now?
the second one, there's a lot of banking apps
Okay.
which you can use. You can also just deposit them on, in any form or place that you feel your money is going to be secure. That's the best way to do it.
What happens when you've been disciplined with this savings? And when you were saving, did you have like, this money is going to buy XYZ, or you were just doing it for the challenge?
Yes, that's actually what I wanted to talk about next.
Yeah.
So the reason why I didn't finish it the first time is because I didn't have any goals. But the second time, because I set a goal of buying myself, because I'm a graphic designer, buying myself a stronger computer and stuff like that, it became really easy. Because now I had a goal. I knew I have to buy this, and our
Okay.
computers are not cheap. My computer was like 120.
Yikes.
So I had,
Yeah.
you get,
You
so
had a
like
serious
pretty much all the
goal
cash
in
I,
mind.
yes, all the
Yeah.
cash I saved went
Interesting.
into
So
it.
saving
yeah.
without a goal is kind of
Yes,
pointless because
yes,
you lose track.
Yeah, you save for the purpose of investment, and that is really important. Like for example, if you're in any field, like I said, if you're a makeup artist, you can decide to buy you can imagine how many makeup kits you can buy. You can buy mirrors, you can
Right.
buy so much.
Open a studio.
Open a studio, exactly, and actually pay deposit for rent, and you can literally start almost any type of business with that amount of money. If you're a chef, you can buy your equipment and stuff. You can
Yeah.
So like basically, that amount of money really pushes you close to your ultimate goals. It's a very good start.
Right.
Yeah.
What happens though when you're on this challenge and life happens? Maybe a relative falls sick or you suddenly have some sort of emergency to deal with. How do you, are you allowed to then like dig into the savings that you're doing, or what do you do? How did you, I don't know if you had any sort of emergencies crop up while you were doing the challenge.
Emergencies are part of life.
Yeah.
And sometimes you actually, I tried my best for the second time not to remove any money from the savings. By the third time I sort of, because I think I had built the habit,
Yeah.
I chucked cash, sorted some problem I had, and then returned it. Yeah.
Okay.
So once you build a discipline and you have a goal, the goal guides you. The goal is like a radar. It guides you towards whatever you're trying to achieve. So even if you fall off track, just get back up and try finish.
Okay.
The idea is to deposit money every single week. It makes you very, very resilient. It makes you, it builds your element of commitment. And also I told you about delayed gratification, which is really important. You save now so that by the end of the year you have a lot more to spend. You can take, can you imagine 137,000? You can take your family for holiday in Seychelles, anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know we've talked about the standard challenges usually with, I guess, 100 bob here in Kenya, but we've said people can do it with 50 or with 25 shillings.
Even 10 shillings. You can do it with whatever amount you have, as long as you do it consistently.
I want to draw on your previous savings experience, because you said even before the challenge you were already saving consistently for 7 years.
Yeah.
Is there sort of like a rule of thumb as far as how much to save?
Yeah, so actually I got this idea from a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. It talks about saving 10% of all you earn. It's literally pay yourself first. So whatever money you make, just take 10% and put it aside, no matter how much it fluctuates. If it's 100,000, you save 10k. If it's 1,000 shillings, you save 100 bob. So you just, but try save as much as you can, 10% of all you're earning. Yeah, you can imagine if someone is earning 100,000 shillings and they save 10,000 every month, at the end of the year, it's like they've worked for 13 months.
Yeah.
Because they have an extra 120,000 that they didn't have at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So it's really powerful. And you can also survive if you're earning 100,000 shillings and I chuck 10,000 shillings, that 90,000 can still do exactly almost everything that you're going to do with the 100,000 minus probably the wastage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Someone here says, hello Joyce, loving Mufasa's story. Kindly ask him, if I'm earning only 50k a month, how do I save that and still enjoy life?
Fantastic. So number one thing she needs to do is do an audit and check on where her money is being wasted. So like the first thing she needs to do is do the budget. Write down how much she spends for food, clothing, fare and transport and everything else, until she can literally explain where every penny goes to. That's the first thing she needs to do. So once that is established, she'll discover that there's so many other places that the money kind of just disappears. She can't tell where the money went to. So the first thing you need to know is where all your money goes to, and that way you can now save the remainder.
Yeah. Someone here else says, hey Joyce, for me, I got out from high school. I guess I got a job. The SMS is a bit unclear, but you're saying I didn't know how to save for 2 years. Now I'm back in school, in college, and when I ask for money, they tell Viv from Kayoli. Unfortunately, the SMS is not 100% clear.
I can tell where she's going to.
Okay.
She does not have a stable source of income.
Okay. Yeah, let's assume that. Let's assume she doesn't have a stable source of income. She's now in college, and many people would be in this position, right? Unemployment is high in this country. So someone doesn't have a stable source of income. Maybe they're not even self-employed.
Okay.
How does one sort of begin to cultivate this habit? Because as you said, you're really paying yourself for your future. You know, this money could go into your pension, it could go into your retirement fund, it could go into some sort of policy.
An emergency fund, So I can tell my story briefly. So I'm a creative, I'm self-employed, but I taught myself everything. I never went to school for graphic design and animation. I taught myself everything. So the first thing you need to know is leverage your skills. So that's how you increase earning, by finding out how you can add value to the marketplace. So, and you do not have to always stick to what you went to school for. I've seen people who sell mandazis and make money and they drop it onto savings. So that's first thing you need to do is understand what your passion is, what your and what is going to feed you. So if you can strike a balance between your passion and what is going to feed you, then stuff like this becomes easier. You understand automatically how to add value to the marketplace. So what I'd tell her is find ways of increasing their skill level so that people can pay for that skill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey Joyce, I will surely challenge myself with the 52-week savings plan. I tried it last year, but I failed. That's Terry from Zimmerman. Well, he also didn't succeed entirely the first time, but he picked himself up, and look at where he is right now. Someone here asks, is it okay to save your money in a lock account just to be safe and only withdraw it at a particular time?
Yeah, I think we should have another talk on ways to where to put the money.
Yeah.
But a local account is still safe.
Okay.
But there's other places where you can put the money that it can earn while it's still in store, so that it's not just dormant in an account.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
because a lot of us will just put money where it's not
Yes, it's not.
earning
Yes,
any
there's,
sort of
yeah,
returns.
there's money markets. There's a lot of other places where you can put the money, which I discovered after I saved like twice, and I was like, yeah, where I have 136,800 shillings.
Yeah.
But nothing has happened to the money. What else can I do to save?
Yeah, like
And
they
within-
say the money
yes,
should be working
yes,
for
they're
you.
your soldiers. They should be working for you.
Right.
So technically, right now, by the time I finish my 52-week saving plan, I usually have around 170 instead of 137. But that's because I discovered where to save it and how to invest it in money markets and stocks and a bit of those things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you even lend the money out at
At
an interest
rate.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you can there's other ways of doing it, but
So we shouldn't be sitting here and going at it because we have a premium account in a bank, right?
no, you should. Yeah.
That's not.
It doesn't
you
make
know,
sense,
it
yeah.
doesn't. It's not doing anything for you, right?
Like
So-
immediately the money gets to 30,000, I just go to my Facebook page and write, I have 30,000 to lend out. Pay me
Wow.
35,000, and actually I get in my inbox full.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it actually works. The only things you need
have
to
to
learn
be
is you have to
careful.
protect the money.
Yeah.
Like ask for collateral.
Yeah.
It's really important. If you don't do it, you will lose your money and lose your friend.
Look at you, you've become a whole fund manager at
Yeah,
this
I'm a fund manager.
through your like savings plan
Yeah.
here. But finally, Purity here says that's a very interesting savings plan. I love it, and I love the entire show. I'm really encouraged, and I'm really glad to hear that you're encouraged. So thank you very much, Kenny, for coming onto the
appreciate it.
show. People are encouraged now to save, which is
Yeah.
great because savings is so important as far as creating a better future for yourself and your loved ones. So thank you for sharing your story. We hope to have you back. Maybe we'll learn more about how and where to save your money. Very important conversation as well. Sio kuringa tu ati uko na pesa kwa bank, usidanganywe. That money needs to be working for you. And so with that said, we're going to take a short break. Can people follow you on social media?
Yeah, follow me on Facebook, Kenny Mufasa Bahati, or you can don't even follow me. Follow the Plan 52 page on Facebook. Plan 52 is the 52-week saving challenge.
Yeah.
We call it Plan 52. So
Okay.
go to that page and follow that. You will find me there. We'll interact there.
Very gracious of you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to take a short break now. As we come back for our final segment for the day, we're going to be doing some DIY, looking at how to create your own decorative sea urchin. Stay tuned.